Okay, game 4 here, and I see a couple things on the board which people have suggested to me after looking at my previous two matches. So, Quist, who has a YouTube channel of his own, you should check him out, um, is quite the advocate for the Sauna Silver opening. And in another one of my matches, Akuchi, who is currently leading the A division, um, advocated a turn 2 Overlord in one of my previous matches. Of course, that is board dependent, but I remember those things looking at the board here. But I am gonna go with Quist on this one. I really want to see the Sauna Silver thing work because he actually left a long comment on one of my videos explaining why he thinks that is good to go for. And I wanted to try it out. I couldn't really disagree with what he said, so I wanted to see for myself how good this thing is. On the opposite side, my opponent had 5-2, went for the Junk Dealer opening alongside a turn 2 Overlord. So I guess we get to see Akuchi in action as well. So he plays his Junk Dealer, and I think he gets his Overlord, and he plays that also as another Junk Dealer. So he's trashing quite well. So I'm gonna go for that Sauna Silver plan, just trying to pick up as many Saunas as possible. That's really the point of it, right? So I don't see my Sauna and my Silver together on the first shuffle, which I would have liked to, given that my opponent is trashing this vigorously. He effectively has two Junk Dealers that he bought on turn 1 and 2, which is immense, right? That's pretty good for him. On the other hand, my Saunas cannot quite seem to find the Silver yet, but I'm able to pick up Saunas, right? And I'm actually not too worried about the trashing at this point, just because of the volume or the number of Saunas that I have. When it does find a Silver, it'll trash a lot of cards, and I will be able to catch up eventually. So here finally my opponent, he uses one of his Overlords for something not a Junk Dealer, which is a Council Room. He has two now, by the way. So after he paid off the debt from the first one, I believe he went ahead and he bought a second one right away. So here he's drawn his deck. He has 6 and a couple buys. So now what do you do in this position? You have a couple Overlords at Junk Dealer, some coppers. What do you do on this board in this position? I think the play here is to add payload, and that really is in the form of gold. I think is the best way to go about it. Catapult, yes, maybe. But I think gold is where he wants to be, given that he has these two Overlords, one of which he could use for Council Room and get a plus buy out of it. Instead he goes for a Sauna and a Silver, which is fine, I guess. So here I am finally able to trash something with one of my Saunas. Happy about that. And I have 5, and this 5 I think it has to be an Avanto. Junk Dealer, I don't want it, I don't need it now. I have what, 4 Saunas? 3 Saunas? Get me the Avanto so I could see my Saunas and I could trash with that instead of the Junk Dealer. And they pair up luckily here, so we'll see where that goes. Let me talk about the landmarks quickly. I showed you Orchard just now as my opponent picks up an Avanto. So Orchard gives you 4 points if you have 3 copies of a particular action card. So what happened with me winning this Sauna split 4-1 is that he can't get the Orchard points for Sauna. Only I could get that. So that is +4 to me, and he can't do anything about that. He can't even trash any of my Saunas. And the other landmark is Wolf Den, which says if you have exactly 1 copy of a card in your deck, -3 victory points. So, in addition to me having 4 Sauna and him having 1, cutting him off from the Orchard points for Sauna, he also has to deal with the Wolf Den. And again, there is a way for him to get rid of his Sauna, which would be Catapult. And maybe he should do that, because it's just -3 points and it doesn't really do a lot for him in the thin deck, right? I think. Anyways, so that is One good thing that came from going after the Sauna so aggressively, I have both the Orchard points and my opponent has the Wolf Den points. So we are now going after the Avantos. He picks up two Avantos, so I can't cut him off there for one, but I can cut him off 3-2. So that is two pairs of Orchard points that I get, he can't get. So that is +8 advantage to me very early on, right? But he has the trashing advantage, of course, and I have to get there and build. I think, excuse me, on this board, your payload really should be a lot of money, a lot of golds, and Catapult, because you will want to play Council Room for the plus buy. So your Catapult can use your Catapult for the discard attack. The Junkin is whatever, like look at my opponent, he could get rid of the curses very, very easily. Now he picks up a gold here. So I think those two things are your payload. I wasn't really sure if at all to pick up an Overlord here. I don't know. Was there a time to pick up the Overlord for me? I don't know, because I wanted to get these Saunas and these Avantos. And now I have the Saunas and the Avantos, and look, I'm able to draw everything. Hooray! Now I have to start organizing my deck, right? What do I want to do? Etc, etc. So I have to catch up by adding payload into my deck, and that'll come in the form of money, I believe. So what I'm going to do here is trash everything but $6 from my deck, pick up a Council Room, because on the next turn I want to go for a couple of silvers. Not the gold, couple of silvers, because that's 4 money instead of 3. Maximum um, payload, I think. I think that's the best I could do given my position. I mean, I will want a Catapult at some point, and actually I play very gingerly around the Wolf Den. I was very hesitant to pick up a single Catapult this game, because you don't really want two, right? You just want the one to make them discard. It's like Militia. If you could play it every turn, you don't need two of them. But I shied away from it because of the Wolf Den. But that's stupid. It's early enough in the game that you can pick up the Catapult and go with it, right? Later on, with the extra buy you have from the Council Room or Council Rooms, you could pick up another Catapult and give yourself +3 points, right? That's like a cheaper duchy anyway. So why not do that? So that's a bit stupid for me. I played too gingerly around the Wolf Den. Don't worry, like don't look at your score when you're playing with Wolf Den, right? But be aware of it and have some idea of how you want to deal with the situation of having uniques into your deck, especially coming down to the end of the game. So here I am going to go through the plan. A couple silvers for me here. My opponent has been adding some gold to their deck, I believe. They had 1 or 2 bad draws recently. Wasn't able to draw through their deck, but I think that is going to stop from here, especially with the extra card I'm giving them from the Council Room. And I am not causing them to discard because I'm just not picking up a Catapult, and that's on me, right? I really should have picked up a Catapult. Another thing the 2 silvers do is, in addition to giving me more money, is it takes away that singleton silver from my deck. So here my opponent plays Overlord as a Catapult and makes me discard, which didn't really hurt me that much. And he comes up here with enough money for province, and he goes for it. So I thought he would build more. Honestly, I thought he would build more, given that there's Orchard on the board, and you could build some kind of Council Room Catapult thing. I really thought he would build more, but he seems to just want to pressure the provinces. And given my position in the game here, it might be okay to do that. I'm not sure. Actually, I don't think so. Like, if I follow him for provinces here, I probably could be in a good position if we take 3 provinces each. I could probably take the 4th, given that I have just more Orchard points than him. And proceed from there. And less, what is this? Less Wolf Den. I only have 1 Wolf Den. I'm not sure how much he has. I think he has a single junk dealer, but whatever. But I'm not actually gonna follow him on the provinces. I want to build a little bit more. So I pick up a gold and a silver there. I think I do trash a copper, not sure. And here again, province for my opponent. So there's two provinces. He has been using his overlords as plazas, so he does have a bunch of coin tokens on his mat, so he can't ever actually stall. He could probably still buy something decent. Talking about stall, that's what happens to me here, and I'm obviously not happy about it. I have 8 and 1 buy, but not going to pick up the province, just going to pick up a second council room for the extra buy. So with the kind of money I have in my deck and the 3 buys, I can go something like Plaza, Plaza, Plaza on one turn. I get 4 points off the orchard, and then next turn Sage, Sage, Sage. Next turn Diplomat, Diplomat, Diplomat. Catapult, Catapult, Catapult. However, 4 points a turn is less than 6 points a turn, so if my opponent continues to province, as he's doing here, not just province, he's actually overdrawing and using his overlords as plazas to pick up coin tokens, then I lose. I'll lose. 4 is less than 6, right? So he picks up, what is this, a 3rd province, I believe. I'm able to kick off this turn, draw in everything. And now I really have to, I have no choice, right? Like before I could have maybe gone alongside him with the provinces when he bought the first one. But now I can't do that. That'll just bring me to the end of the game faster and I'm behind. So my only option is to go after the orchard points. So here, look, I'm giving him 2 cards with the council room, right? Buy a catapult, man. You have coppers you could trash with your catapult. Even so, I mean, you could buy back coppers just to trash them with your catapult if you have so many extra buys from your council room, but buy the catapult. Please buy the catapult. You can't give this man 2 extra cards and then hope he stalls. I don't buy the catapult, in case you are agonizing just as I did. I don't buy the catapult. Instead, I pick up a gold and a couple plazas. So now the second gold makes sure that I don't have a duplicate, and the plazas will get me a couple coin tokens because I'm overdrawing by a lot. I was overdrawing since a long time ago. So the plazas will get me the coin tokens, and next turn I will pick up a 3rd plaza for 4 points. So when you're paying $12 for 4 points, which really isn't hot. But the idea is that you can improve your deck quality too, right? Anyways, so more plaza shenanigans for my opponent, and he is gonna have just $8 again and buy another province. And actually, he's to the point where he could play one of those overlord guys as a counselor and pick up double province just because of how many coin tokens he's accumulated so far. So really, he could, do that when there's 6 provinces in the pile, finish the game, easy peasy. And so it is hurting me to draw him cards here. Like, I am caught in 2 minds as to when to play when I am asked or come to the decision to play the council room. Do I play it? Give him the card? I really don't want to give him the card, but I need the plus buy, so I'll play it. Sigh. Just buy the catapult, man. Stop playing around Wolf's Den like that. The game isn't gonna end so quickly. Alright, so again, more turn planning here. I think I'm gonna trash a single copper here. It gets me a little bit more reliable, and I don't quite need the money at this point. So I have 16 and 4 buys. And I'm gonna pick up my 3rd plaza, and yes, you saw right, I went for a couple pirate ships. Why? Because your boy only has 2 gold and a silver in his deck. That is his only form of economy. There's nothing he could mimic on the board that gives him a lot of money. He can mimic Junk Dealer, he'll probably have to trash something good, so that's out of the question. Same goes for Catapult, and those are only 1 coin each. So, if I hit one of his money cards, 1, he can't double province, unless he gets more coin tokens, and 2, well, he has to dip into his coin token back to province again. So here he catapult silver at me, and he's able to pick up another province. So catapulting silver is nice because, well, I get the curse, right? And I get to discard. And I think he did that so that he has um, no more silver in his deck. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Anyways, what the pirate ships are here for is to look for that gold. If I could snipe one of his gold out of his deck, it'll take away his economy and it'll give him -3 points because he only has 2. So I miss here actually turning up 2 provinces, and look at this. Bang! Bang! Hit that gold. I paid those pirate ships. You know, I improved their targeting system. So I was able to snipe out that gold, take away economy, take away points from him. That was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. So that does give me a little bit of extra time. A little bit of extra time because it's not so easy for him to double province now. And here I think I'm going to clean up the last 2 coppers from my deck. I want to be into a position where I can threaten triple province at some point, because I think there's 3 left or 4 left. I'm not sure, but I want to be in that position just to threaten triple province. So I have 14 couple coin tokens here. How do I get into that position? Well, I'm not really sure. But what I do go for here is for points. So I pick up another plaza, which doesn't give me points, but I pick up another council room and another pirate ship. So I get 6 points from the council room and the pirate ship combined. And I get 1 extra money from the pirate ship and 1 extra money from the 4th plaza that I have. So I am kinda close to triple province, not quite there, not quite there. So we'll see here what my opponent goes for. I think here he doesn't go for the province actually. This is the turn where he goes for another overlord. Of course he only has the 2 overlords, right? So the 3rd one would give him +4 points. So he spends a bit of time thinking here. I'm not sure if he goes for the province on this turn or the overlord. As for my hand, that really isn't looking promising. It's looking quite scary. And with all the pirate ships and the money in my deck, you know, it's only natural to expect that I will stall at some point. Of course, if I stall here, it's very, very bad. I already stalled 1 time or 2 times in the beginning, and my saunas weren't very kind to me. Early on, of course they caught up. They always will. Like once you win the split anyway. So first of all, that's Plaza, and then he plays another one as a counselor. And yeah, this is the only economy in his deck, the single gold, because he catapulted a silver at me. I knocked a gold out, and yeah, so he goes for both actually, the province first and then the overlord. So he's in debt too. So that's something I should keep in mind, right? He probably can't get province next turn. Probably can't get province next turn. He could use his coin tokens to pay off his debt, but I don't think he could get points being in debt by 8. So here I check up points and I see, okay, well, I'm 14 points behind right now. If I get double province and duchy, that should do it. That is 15 points, and that should give me the win. And I already have, you know, the $21 I think in the deck. I don't really have to discard with these plazas, but I still choose to discard to these plazas just, you know, for completeness. By the way, double province and duchy doesn't actually take me past him on this board because of Wolf's Den. Double province and duchy is only 13 points. It's not 15 points. And I realized that only when I start buying the first duchy, or after I bought the first duchy, which is very bad for me. Very, very bad. Thankfully, I discarded to every single plaza that I had, and I use these pirate ship tokens for money. I'm not gonna use it to attack at all. There's no way. If I hit his goal, then I give him 3 points. And actually, because of those discards to the plaza, I am actually gonna have exactly enough money and buys to go for double province and 2 duchies, and that gives me the win. So please remember, Wolf's Den, when you're scoring. Double province duchy would not have done it for me. If I was $1 short here, I would have cried, but I wasn't, thankfully. Alright, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next game.